Welcome to part 2 of the Introduction to World of Warcraft Dragonflight Beginner's Guide video for the casual cozy gamer. And if you didn't see the first part, I will link it in the description so that you can start from the very beginning, especially if you're playing World of Warcraft for the first time. And if you already watched that video and you're back for the second part, I'm so excited to have you here again. Thank you so much for continuing this adventure with me today. So we made it to level 6 last time. I think the only thing different that I did off camera was I did tame an owl, as you can see. So we're just going to jump right in, pick up where we left off, and I will try to give you some more basic tips as we continue to level. Maybe we'll get to 10 today. We'll see what happens, but I do want it to be basic, but I also might add a little bit more information just for the fun of it. And it's definitely geared towards the casual cozy gamer. So if that's you and you want to continue with me, keep on watching, and thanks so much for being here. Try not to continue to talk about things I've already talked about in the previous video. So if you haven't seen the previous video, like I mentioned earlier, make sure that you click on that in the description so that you can start where we left off. Now here's the cooking trainer here, and I think it's a good idea to get cooking, and it's only 10 hoppers, so we're going to train in cooking and see where I'm at on the map. Right down from the little inn. Inn is right behind. So I just ran down the hill here and I'm getting the cooking. Now you can also train in all these other things. It really doesn't take too long to earn gold in retail WoW, so I go ahead and get all of this just because I like to do the cooking in the game. Now if you want to find your professions, you're going to hit the K on your keyboard and it'll take you straight to that tab. And since we do have cooking now, so just pull that out by left clicking on your mouse and dragging it over and just placing it wherever you want to put it. As far as building a campfire, you can actually pull that out as well. Put that on your action bar so that if you're not near a cauldron or a campfire or something that you can use to cook, you can actually place it on the ground and make one. I'll show you if you weren't near that. You could just click on that campfire, the cooking fire, and then you place it wherever you want it. And this is much easier than it used to be back in the day. You actually had to have the items that you needed to create the campfire, but they've changed that in retail WoW, so it's much different. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cooking supply NPC Naoma here. And I'm going to sell a couple of things in my bags to her. I'm going to go ahead and sell my old gear too. And this staff that I'm not using. If it says crafting reagent on it, I'm going to go ahead and save it and probably just put it in the bank. But when you look up here, you can buy some things from her. Buy mild spices, simple flour. You can also buy this recipe here. This is for brilliant small fish. I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Why not? So then I'll learn it by opening up my bag and right clicking on the recipe to learn it. In order to make that recipe, let's show learned recipes. Classic. Okay, so see, I had to filter it to go to classic and show learned recipes, and then the ones that I know were able to come up. So we don't have any raw brilliant small fish, but if we go fishing, we can get some of those. You know, these are the different ingredients that we'll need in order to cook these things. We don't have anything. Now, if we wanted to pay and buy simple flour and mild spices, we could make spice bread. So that's an option, but you do have to buy it, those two things. So what I like to do is either just get some boar meat or get some small eggs, and we can cook some food without spending money. You might as well just go hunt for the things you need if you can. I know it's so sad to make my owl fight his kindred brothers and sisters, but it's just a game. So let's find some owls and get us some eggs. This is just me playing cozy. I'm not in a rush. I could just go straight for the quests right now, which I will hit some of the quests. I'm headed over to one of them right now. You can see on the mini map. I can fill up my jade file. So I'm going to head over that way, and if I see any owls on the way so that we can get some small eggs for cooking, I will do that as well. And the moon well, I should say. So we're just going to click on that, fill that up. That person right there is doing pet battles, and those are really fun, and maybe we'll get a chance to do some of that. So I'm just going to clear my path here to get to this Troubling Breeze quest that I see on the map. And I'm going to collect some coin because humanoids drop coin. See that I'm getting some copper, and they also drop linen. Linen can be used for, well, it can be used to make bandages, although they did change that a little bit, and I don't really know if we can train in first aid anymore, but you know what? We'll try. We'll check it out and we'll see, because it's been a while since I've created a character. So here's a quest that we can complete now, and we leveled. We got our Hunter's Mark spell, which I like to move into my spot here. I do key bindings on my action bar. So again, if you want to learn how to do key bindings, just leave a comment and let me know. So now I'm going to accept the next quest, return to Athridus Bare Mantle, and I'm just going to hop down here. We have to go over to this area and get the Emerald Dreamcatcher. So it's just in another building over here. You can see it on the map. We can make that be our active quest so that we can find it a little bit easier. And we might as well clear the way and get as much copper and linen as we possibly can. You can also use linen if you want to be a tailor. You can craft cloth. And so let's go in here and click on the dresser. So I'm right clicking to interact with that, getting the item that we need, the Emerald Dreamcatcher. And now we're going to head back. We can see on our mini map the gold arrow is showing us where to go. So we're going to head back to turn a couple of quests in. We actually have a quest we can pick up on our way. There, we've got one down below that we can get in a little bit. So just paying attention to the map, the mini map and your regular map. Remember, if you want to access your map, you just hit M on your keyboard and you can zoom in and out with your mouse wheel. But it shows you the quests in the area that you can pick up, and if they're gold, that means you can pick them up now. If you see any silver quests, that means that you're not quite high enough level to accept that quest yet. So we're going to retrieve 2 Nightsaber Fangs, 2 Strigged Owl Feathers, and 2 swatches of Webwood Spider Silk. In the quest helper in the mini map, just hover over, see what you need to get. Aren't finding very many owls though, and we do need to get some eggs for our recipe. There's an owl, so we're going to go ahead and try to get some eggs. Plus we need to get feathers from the Strigged Owls. Just make sure that when you're trying to find something for a quest, that you're targeting the correct animal or mob, because there's different types of owls, and in this case we do need Strigged Owl feathers, so just want to make sure that you're targeting the right animal. You should be good if you're in your area that the mini map is showing. I think it's worth mentioning. There's a druid. Druids are fun classes to play too. if you want to turn into different animals, and it's a very versatile class. You can tank, you can do DPS, or you can be a healer with the Druid. And it's a fun class. I have a lot of alts because I feel like the leveling journey is pretty fun, and I find that playing the different classes is just kind of like playing a whole new adventure, and each class has its own fun abilities and spells. So to me, I've really enjoyed all the classes, really. I don't think there's a class that I could say I didn't have fun playing, but ultimately my favorite class is the hunter class, and I have leveled up quite a few hunters, but it has been a while since I've created a character, so it's fun to just start new and do this little guide, and I really hope it's helpful. And again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to do so. This community is very helpful, and if there's something that comes up that I can't answer, chances are someone out there who sees the video and sees the comments can offer some great advice. So definitely don't hesitate to leave a comment or a question if you are stuck. Just got the hunter's mark, so I should have showed you that. Let's read it. It says apply hunter's mark to the target, causing the target to always be seen and tracked by the hunter. Hunter's mark increases all damage dealt to targets above 80% health by 5%. Only one hunter's mark damage increase can be applied to a target at a time. Hunter's mark can only be applied to one target at a time. When applying hunter's mark in the combat, the ability goes on cooldown for 20 seconds. So I should be using my hunter's mark. So let's take a look and see if we've got enough eggs. Got 4 small eggs. Let's see if we can cook some eggs. So we can do 4 baked eggs. We're gonna create all 4. And they'll go into our bags, and we're gonna level up our cooking skill as well, which is really fun to work on your professions. You can get 2 main professions, and then you can also pick up the, I don't know if they call them minor professions, but cooking and fishing. Let's take a look here. So it says, if remember, you just hit the K and your professions open up, and you can also access it by clicking on the spell book on the lower right corner, and you can see the tabs below let you click through professions pet spellbook. So that's something to remember. When we look at our professions, if you look at where it says first profession, it says visit a profession trainer in a major city to learn a new profession. You may have 2 professions. You may have any combination of gathering and production professions. Second profession just says the same thing. You only have 2 professions. You can pick up cooking, fishing, and looks like archaeology. So I guess that answers my question about first aid. Now we're going to go turn in our quests. So I have a little window that says see ways to earn tender in the traveler's log, but it says this feature is not yet available. So just be aware that you might get a tip that tells you that, but we can't access it yet. This one in, and we leveled again, and we got Aspect of the Turtle, which is a really great spell, protecting you. It deflects all attacks and reduces all damage you take by 30% for 8 seconds, but you can't attack when you use it, so you do need to, you know, keep that in mind. Oops, this is what it looks like. I actually did not mean to use it, but this is what it looks like. It has a 3-minute cooldown. It's an instant cast. You know, maybe I'll put it in my key binded action bar here so that if I need to access it quickly, I can just tap a key. And we've got 2 new quests that we can get. And honestly, there are so many quests that you can do that you can pick and choose what you like to do. You might have quests that you like to do more than others. I do, so I'm not going to get every single quest. There are some quests that I really don't enjoy, so I'm not going to pick those ones up. I do like this one here, Resident Danger. We're going to kill 20 Gnarlpine Furlbogs. I can never say that word. Furlbog. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. In and around Bethanol Barrow Den. We're going to do that one. Oh, and I also got another spell. So I got Feign Death. I'm going to put Feign Death in my keybound spot for number 4. And what this one does, this is a lifesaver for hunters. It's instant. You feign death, tricking enemies into ignoring you. It lasts up to 6 minutes and it has a 30-second cooldown. And this is a really important one. When you're about to die, you can just feign and hopefully whatever's on you will leave you alone and give you time to get away. And disengage also is one that I use a lot to get out of trouble. I will click on it, it leaps you backwards and gets you out of combat. And so sometimes you have to use both of those in a situation, or you might have to use your aspect of the turtle to put the turtle shell. But definitely keep those somewhere where you'll access them when you need them. They're definitely lifesavers for hunters. So I'm going to come up here and turn this quest in. And we can get the new one, kill 7 Gnarlpine Mystics and find the missing jewel. And again, I'm not reading the quest, although I think it is fun, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to actually skip that part. So they do have a bandage trainer, but I believe you have to have tailoring now. Yeah. They used to have, this used to be the first aid trainer and used to be able to get first aid in Classic WoW. So if you ever decide you want to try Classic WoW or even Classic Season of Discovery, you can do that. And if you're interested in seeing a starting of Classic or Season of Discovery, let me know in the comments. That would be a lot of fun. I would be happy to do that. Let's go over here to these two first. And before we do that, let's pull out the herb baked eggs that we made and let's put that in our action bar. And it says here, use, restores 180 health over 18 seconds, must remain seated while eating. If you spend at least 10 seconds eating, you will become well fed and gain 1 stamina for 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and eat one just for the sake of gaining that buff. Even though it's not the best buff in the world, hey, we'll take it. Now we have pathfinding. That must be a pet skill that we can take a look at here. So we still don't have our talents yet. We won't get those until 10. Oh yeah. So we are playing with a bird, which is a cunning. There's 3 types of specs that pets you have could have, and I talked about that in the first video. This one is a cunning pet, so they give us pathfinding. You and your pet gain 8% increased movement speed, which is really cool. We can pull the stay down if we want to make our pet stay. And if you want your pet to be passive, you just click on this and they will not attack until you order them to. If you want them to be on defensive, your pet will only attack enemies that attack you and your pet. And if you have assist on, your pet will assist you, and that's what I usually play with. I normally play with assist. And if you want your pet to stay for some reason, you can always use this. How it works is just click on it and your pet will stay, and then when you leave, pet won't follow you. If you click on follow, which is this little one with the footprints, then he'll come back to your side, or he or she. So those are just some helpful. In fact, I'm going to move that. If you ever want to move your action bar spells and they're locked, which we did talk about that a little bit about your action bar in the part 1. But if you ever want to move them, you just hold the shift down while you grab it with your left mouse and you can just drag it to wherever you want it. The different attack spells, I think I'll just save for the left side, and you don't have to mess with this at all really. This is just something extra I'm doing. You also can see that your pets have some passive spells, so feel free to read through what your pets have and have fun collecting pets. Get different pets and you can store them at the stables, which I'll show you that too. Right now we only have one pet on this character. Click on your pet and then you can come up to the little pet icon and you can right click on that and you can see the different options. You can rename your pet, so maybe I'll do that. You can dismiss your pet that just sends your pet away temporarily. It's also a spell that you have when you look at your pet utility tab and see the different spells, and the dismiss pet will put your pet away, and you can call your pet back out and access your whistle by clicking on the lower right spellbook. Make sure that you have it on the spellbook tab and your call pet whistles right here. You can drag that to your action bar. I'm going to put it right over here, and I think I'm going to move my pet utility over there as well. And when you click on it, you can see the pet that you have that you can call out. And I also have that spell right here, but I really don't need it taking up that spot. And I'm just going to move some of these. You don't really need your pet spells on your action bar because they're going to be in your pet utility. And I showed that in part 1. But if you want to have easy access to mending your pet and reviving your pet and taming pet, you can always pull it out and put it on the action bar. All right, so if we want to call our pet back out, we click on the whistle, call your pet. If you want to highlight your pet again, and let's say you want to abandon your pet forever, you would click on abandon pet and your pet would disappear and be gone forever. But don't worry, you could always tame another one. Clicking on edit mode just puts you in this place where you can edit your whole entire interface. You could move these things around. I don't really move much. The only thing I do move is, let me show you, going to the question mark in the lower right. You can click on edit mode. You can move your frames. I think I had mine down here on the first video, like so. So my frame was here and whatever I was targeting it was on this side right here. But I personally wanted to leave more space in the middle that'd be open and clear so I could just see my screen more. So I moved my screen by just left clicking and dragging it where you want it, and I left click dragged this one as well. And you can also change the size. You can put the buffs on the top. I don't really mess with anything else. But if you want to make that bigger, you can use this bar and you can see that it gets bigger. You can save and exit. Right, that's kind of the way I do it, just to give me more room. You can also, if you want to hide your quests over here on your right screen underneath your mini map, you can click on that and it will just close that out. You'll still see on your mini map whatever quest you have targeted, so you can still get to the quest you want to get to, and it just opens up your screen a little bit more, lets you see more of the gameplay. And so we're going to turn this quest in. We're going to get a 6-slot bag and this severed voodoo claw. This is something we can use. The severed voodoo claw If you use it, physical damage caused by the target is reduced by 2 for 2 minutes. So this is going to keep us from getting so much damage if we want to use it. We can put that on our action bar. If you hold the shift while you click on something that you can separate into different amounts, you'll see this screen coming up, and you can actually scroll through the little arrows and pick how many you want and then hit OK, and then you can just grab that many, or you can just put them all on your action bar by just left clicking your mouse and just placing them on the action bar. But sometimes you just want to have a couple of items that you grab, so that's just good to know. All right, so I have to right click on it, see if it lets me. Yeah, it does. Okay, so you just have to right click on it to use it, and it do the effect. We're going to go ahead and show our quests. So gathering different materials is always a good way to make money in this game. So if you want to collect some linen that these guys drop, for example, you can always sell it in the auction house. And if anyone else tags what you're tagging, they will also be able to get the loot from it. So don't feel like you can't help people out. I think most people appreciate the help. Oh, thanks for healing me.
Thank you.
Okay. So one of the things that is kind of fun to do, I think, in World of Warcraft is to create macros. And when you create a macro, it's just an easy way to use an emote or to highlight someone. You can find an NPC with those. You can find a beast or a mob that you're looking for. It's kind of like a shortcut. But let's always make sure we get to a safe place like a road before we start messing with things that are in our interface, because you don't want to get attacked while you're doing something like that. If you go over to the bottom right corner and click on the question mark, you'll see the option for macros. If you click on a macro, I have several that I've already made, so I'm just going to pull them down. And I really like to have thank you out so that when someone's helping me or gives me a buff, I can click on that person and then I can click on thank. If I don't have a person selected and I click on it, it's just going to show it here. You thank everyone around you, and sometimes that's appropriate. And so you can make all kinds of macros to do like a shortcut for, like I said, an emote, or for other reasons. If you're trying to find a specific pet that you want to tame, like a rare creature, you can make a macro for it, click on it, and then it'll target when you're in the area, when you're close to it. And I think wave is a fun one to bring down. So I'll bring down my thanks and my wave. And let me just show you for the fun of it how you can create a macro if you want to. So you'll click on new, and let's say you would like to create a like a thank you one as well. The first thing you're going to do is enter the name for your macro. So I'm going to write thanks. And then you're going to select some type of icon to represent that macro. So I don't know, you can pick anything you want. Just select something. It'll show you here what you're going to use as your icon. Then you're just going to hit OK. And then you can see that it's showing that icon, and it's got the title here that says thanks. And then it's got your cursor blinking in the spot where it says enter macro commandments. So go ahead and hit the / and then you're going to type in thanks. And then you should be able to save it by clicking on the save. So if you click save, it should show up in here. And I believe it's right there. I see it. And you can actually just take it by left clicking on it and dragging it out and just placing it on your action bar. And then you can close this out. And if you just go up to that little spell icon, click on it, and it says you thank everyone around you. You want to take it off your action bar and your action bars are locked. Like I said before, hit the shift, left click on that icon and just pull it off, and then right click your mouse and it should go away. Right, so that's how you can make a macro. Character emotes are listed on the lower bottom corner in this speech bubble. If you click on that, you're going to see all kinds of shortcuts. If you want to use any of those shortcuts, the in-game way to chat to other players is you hit your enter key on your keyboard and it will pull up, as you can see, the bottom left-hand corner shows you that I'm about to say something. So say means it's going to let you put something in there that other people, other players who are close in your vicinity will be able to see. So if I want to say hi to somebody who's next to me, they're not in a party with me, you can do that. And it will send that out into the world. But a say is, like I said, they have to be in pretty close proximity to you. So again, type what you want to say. You have to hit enter again to send it out. And that's how you do that. Let's say you're in a party. You just hit / and you hit P. Or you can just click right here, party chat, and it will change it for you. I'm not in a party, so it's not going to really work. If you want to take a look at the different channels, if you click on the general tab here, you'll see the things that have happened. But if you right click on it, I really don't do anything with this. I kind of just leave it alone. But if you want to go to the settings, it pulls up all the different chat channels for you. And you can uncheck them if you don't even want to be a part of them. If you don't want someone to whisper you can uncheck it. If you want to leave a channel, you click on the channel. It will show you different channels. You can leave general chat. Maybe you don't like what people are talking about and you just don't want to read it. You just uncheck it and you hit OK, and then you won't see the general chat anymore. Right click on general, go down to settings, it brings it up, and let's say you want to go back to that channel and you do want to see it. You can just check it and hit OK. And let's say you want to talk in a channel. You can see that the channels are listed. The general is here. And it should be just a number 1. So if I hit the enter button and I hit / and the number 1, and then you hit enter again, the next time I hit the enter button, it just shows that I'm in general chat. And if you want to change it to a different chat, like let's say you want to go back to say, you just hit / S, enter, and the next time you hit enter, you're back to say. So that's kind of a little bit about how that works. And let's say I want to type something in general chat. So I hit enter, I hit / the number 1, enter again, and then I hit enter one more time. Now I'm in general for Teldrassil, and I can type something if I want to ask a question. Maybe I want to say, is there a flight path here? Here. Then you're just going to hit the enter button and it will send it out into the world. And that's how you can type and chat to people in the game. That's just a basic, very basic overview. And a lot of people are using Discord, so they're talking a lot to each other in voice chats. And so you really don't see, at least I noticed that there's not a whole lot of activity like there used to be in the chat channels. Now there is voice chat in World of Warcraft with Battle.net, which is a whole new video. So you can. So now we're going to venture over, turn in some more quests, and try to see if we can hit level 10 today. Now we have another spell. We've reached level 9 and we have Exhilaration. This spell heals you for 30% and your pet for 100% of maximum health. This is another really awesome lifesaver. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in here right next to Feign Death. And I'm going to put my Disengage right above it. A lot of times I'll have to use these in combination with each other. Sometimes you need to heal, you need to get out of combat. You might even need to feign at the same time. So kind of keep all of those in a similar location along with the aspect of the turtle. It's just how I do it. Once you play and you get a feel for how you like to have your spells set up, you're going to be able to move your spells around and just basically conform it to your play style. I'm going to grab this next quest, and once we get to level 10, I think that'll be a good time to head into Darnassus. So we're going to keep working working our way. If you look at the map here, you can see that we've opened up the areas that we've discovered. So as you go into new areas and traverse new paths, you'll open up those different locations on your map. And we're just going to keep heading over, finishing quests, and if we follow this path right here, it's going to lead us into Darnassus. And there's a flight path over there, there's a bank over there, and there's also an auction house, there's professions we can get, all that good stuff. So I can actually do this quest anytime and head over there. But I think before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and finish up some of these other quests in this area, and then I'll do that one when I'm ready to head over. For this quest, I have to find fell cones. You can see them, they're kind of glowing a little bit, but highlighted there on the ground. So sometimes you just have to look for it and even put your cursor around until you see that little cogwheel. Okay, and we got all of them, so we're going to head towards the diamond. Another thing just to notice, that the diamond that's in front of you leading your way when you track a quest, when you click on it and you see that diamond, not only do you see the golden arrow on the mini map, but you see that diamond. And I know I pointed out earlier, but it also gives you how many yards you are away in game. You can see the numbers, so you can tell if you're getting further or closer to that highlighted area. So in case you are interested in pet battles, this is the Battle Pet Trainer in Dalinar. See where I'm at on the map. And the inn is right next to me. I'll show you. So when you're at the inn, got your mailbox here. Just gonna come right down the road here, and to the left is the Battle Pet Trainer, and this is like a mini game within the game. You can collect all kinds of battle pets, and it is so much fun. I feel like a cozy game guide isn't complete without mentioning this aspect of the game. And I like it so much that I think I would love to, I know I would love to dedicate a whole video to this specific topic. If you talk to her, it says, what do you think of my pet? And you can select interested in catching some rare pets or interested in trading your battle stones. If we click on interested in collecting some rare pets, we can actually buy a great horned owl for 4 silver. And if you have the money on you and you want to get that pet, and we do have enough, we have plenty right now, you can click on that and you can train. So just click on train, and now it says I've collected a great horned owl. On the lower left, great horned owl has been added to your pet journal. So maybe it just puts it in there. So let's look at the bottom right where it says collections, or you can click Shift P and go to the pet journal tab. And if I have a lot of pets because it's basically account bound. All your pets are shared with all of your alts. So yours is definitely going to look different than mine if you've never gotten a pet before, battle pet before. But we can just look for great horned owl, and here it is. And I already had one before because I've gotten one before, and I've done all this before on a different character. But you can pull that great horned owl out. You can put it on your action bar if you want to, or you don't have to. You can just highlight it and you can click on summon. This is your battle pet area when you go to your pet journal. So you can type in their name to search for them. You can filter by collected, not collected, pet families. I mean, this is a whole other video, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to get into too much of this. These are slots that you can use when you do a pet battle. It's just fun. You can see the levels that your pets will gain and the different spells they get during the pet battle. It's just a lot of fun, but there's a lot to it. You can also pull these down into your action bar. If I want to summon a random favorite pet, I can put this on my action bar, and when I click that, it's just going to randomly summon the pets that I have to kind of hang out with me and run around on the ground or fly next to me. This button lets us revive our battle pets, because after you do battles, they do need to be healed and revived. They don't ever die completely or go away completely, but they do need to be healed. We're not going to go into too much detail now. We're just going to continue our way. If you are interested in that, learning more about it, there are videos on YouTube that you could look up about battle pets. You know, maybe you're excited to do that. I don't blame you. It's really fun. If you're interested in that, let me know. Leave a comment. But that is something I would love to do. So now we have our great horned owl, and we can call that owl out. So we're just gonna, we moved the little icon over to our action bar on the very far right here. I'm gonna click it with my left mouse, and then you can see now I have my little pet, my battle pet. If I come across a pet that we can battle, I might do one battle just to show you how it works. But you can really get into it and use a lot of strategy, and as your pets get higher level and you start battling higher level battle pets to try to win them, because you can win and collect pets that way, it gets a little bit harder. But it is a another fun way to play this game, just collecting those battle pets and doing the pet battles. There's so much I want to show you, but again, I don't want it to be overwhelming. I just want to let you be aware of all the different possibilities of fun activities that you can do without being too overwhelming. You know, you can take it at your own pace and just do what you feel comfortable doing, and just learn slowly over time all these different activities. But just knowing what's out there that you can partake in is kind of nice, just to, so that when you find the time to learn something else, you know that that's something that you want to eventually get to. You know, sometimes when you start a new game, you just don't even know what the possibilities are. So I'm hoping that this guide will help you at least kind of cover the basics, see what's out there for you to be able to take part in, and then you can pick and choose what you really want to spend your time doing based on your own preferences and your own play style. So the pet I want to battle is flying around here, so I recommend you pick a pet that's not in a dangerous location, so don't really do what I'm doing. But you do want to make sure that the pets we're battling against are the same level. Because if you want to be able to tame one of the pets, you don't want to kill it. Not that you actually kill them, but you don't want to completely deplete the pet. So I will show you what I mean. The filter by level. To the level 1 pets. And so I'm just putting in 3 level 1 pets because I think you have to have a team, so you'll have to wait until you get 3 pets to put into these battle pet slots. So I could be wrong, but that's what I think it's going to be like, because it doesn't let me take 2 out and only use 1 pet. So let me just show you how it works. So once you get your pets in those slots with level 1 pets like I have, like I said, this isn't going to be a guide. If I do a guide, I will do more research so that I can, get myself re-familiarized with it, because it's been a while since I've done a pet battle. What you're going to do basically is you're going to go up and you're going to right click on the icon here. You'll see how it has a green paw when you put your cursor over that pet. That tells you that it is a battle pet. As soon as you click on that, as soon as you right click on it, it's going to enter you into the pet battle. So make sure that your pets are in those spots like I showed you. So let's do it. I can target him. Sometimes it's hard to get it to click. Alright, so it enters you into the pet battle, and this is what you see. And the first 2 pets will go up against each other, and you have your spells here, and I only have 1 spell available, so I'm just going to use that one. The other 2 are locked, and I could switch to a different pet, so I'm just going to use the only spell I have. And then they take turns. And there's a lot to learn about this. For example, this flying pet says flying creatures gain 50% extra speed while above 50% health. It tells you information when you hover over the little icon at the top, and both of these are flying. And this tells you what round you're on. So we're going to try again. You can see the health bar for each one. My pet is right here. The pet I'm fighting against is over here. And if you see a pet that you're fighting against that you want to try to tame, you'll be able to use this trap, this pristine trap, to catch it, but you won't be able to catch it until it lights up. So right now it says this enemy pet's health is not low enough. So you have to get the pet low enough to where you can capture it. So I'm just going to click on my spell again and hope he doesn't kill my pet. If my pet gets kind of low, I would want to switch out to another pet. But we're going to just hope that he doesn't get too low. So now I have my pristine trap. I can try to catch this crested owl if I want to. If he does kill my pet, which again, it's not a permanent thing, but if his health goes all the way down, then the other pet will start coming out. Just for the sake of showing you how it works, you can throw this trap down now, and sometimes you don't hit them, sometimes you miss. So I missed right there. So I'm probably going to want to switch my pet out. And then I click on the switch pet, and then I can choose which other pet I want to have come out. And when you hover over them, it shows you what spell they have, what they can do. And if I'm trying to catch this pet, I really don't want to kill it. I don't want it to take away its health completely, or I won't get it. Now, if you do want to defeat this pet and see what other pets come out, you might not want to trap it. So let's just see what comes out next after we fight. Sometimes you'll get a better quality pet. So let's just see. And I don't know, maybe another pet won't come out in this low level. Oh yeah, so see, at this low of a level, it didn't have 3 pets, so I think I didn't need to have, maybe you don't have to have a team of 3. So if you're starting out, you could just have your 1 pet. And now my battle pet leveled, so my great horned owl leveled up, and I got another spell. You can also check your battle pet slots here, and you can click on the little drop down spell, and you can see that at level 10 we'll get a different spell. So you'll be able to choose between 2 spells once you get them high enough level. So now we have 2 spells and we're level 2, so we can try to find some other pets that are close to that level. But that's how it works, and I thought that would be a fun thing to share with you. If I was able to trap it successfully, it would have gone into my pet journal and I would have had another pet to add to my collection. Once it levels, the health bar fills up and you will not have to revive it. It has full maximum health now. So we could actually try to battle another pet. And you can go to different pet trainers all around the world that you'll find, and you can get bandages and all kinds of different things to help with your battle pet adventures. So let's try one more battle pet battle, and that way maybe we can catch one and you can see what that's like. If I can target it. Here we go. Alright, let's turn it to where my pet is on the left side. Alright, so now we've got 2 spells. 100% hit chance, that's good. Lets out a loud shriek, dealing 20 dragonkin damage and reducing the damage the target deals by 25% for 3 rounds. Now, some types of pets do better against other types of pets. You can see here on the lower right that there's a decreased chance versus the undead type pet, but there's an increased chance of winning against the magic when I use this specific spell. So that's helpful. So just paying attention to what the spells say is going to be a good way to just kind of learn as you go. But there's also a lot of great information online you can look for, and you can find YouTube channels to explain it as well. So let's use our spells and see if we can capture this crested owl, which is also a level 2. And I really think the music's also fun. So let's try to capture this one. We're going to throw the trap. That time we got it. And then your pet's going to level up a little bit more and get more experience. And if we look at our pet journal, you can see that our pet is now level 3. It's definitely something I wanted to mention because, I mean, the casual cozy gamer in me loves anything to do with pets. In case that's something you're interested in and you want to look up some more information on it, I definitely wanted to at least show you what that is about. Since we're pretty close to level 10 now, you can see my experience bar at the very bottom of the screen as the purple filling up almost to the end here. If you hover over it, it will tell you that I'm at 100% of normal experience, so I don't have a bonus to my experience right now because I don't have a rested bonus, which you will get if you log out at an inn at the end of your session, which I did talk about in the last video. But you can see that I am at 84%, 5,678 out of 6,775 to get to my next level. You will also gain experience for discovering new areas. Now, something else I didn't mention is that when you do select something to attack, a target to attack, you'll notice their level. I select it, you see this little, as you put your cursor on it in the bottom lower right corner, you'll see that it's a Bloodfeather Sorceress, level 10 or level 9 humanoid. You'll also see the frame, wherever your frame is. Mine used to be down here and I moved it up out of the way. but it says level 9 and it says the name of it up there, and it shows you the health bar. It shows you that they use this particular humanoid uses mana, and you can see they have frost armor. There's a little icon underneath. They have these like buffs that you can see that show up under their frame too, so that tells you a lot about the enemy that you're about to fight. So just pay attention to that and what level it is, and know that when you're a lower level, anything that you're fighting that's higher level than you is going to be harder. And so depending on how many levels higher it is than you, it can be even more difficult. So just keep that in mind when you target something, and you should be able to be okay with something that's a level higher or a few levels higher than you. You don't want to take on something that has a skull when it shows you the level. If it doesn't show you the level, but there's like a skull, that means that it's such a high level above your character's level that they aren't even telling you. It's just giving you a skull. So just pay attention to that, and keep your targets that you're fighting at a reasonable level above your character. You will get more experience for killing something that's a higher level. So, I mean, you can always test it out and just see how comfortable you are with, how high of level above your character you're willing to go and be comfortable about it. And also just remember that even something that's not super high level, if there's several of them coming at you at once, you might be outnumbered, and that can also cause problems. Sometimes in that case, you just have to run, run and get away, and hopefully eventually whatever's on you will leave you alone. Just try to make sure that when you run away, you're not running into something else, some other aggressive creature. And these all have the red above their heads written, their names are written in red, which means that they are more aggressive, and they're going to come at you if you get close enough in their range. If you get into their aggro range, they're going to come at you even if you don't attack first. So definitely pay attention to your surroundings, and pay attention to the creatures that are around you, and just stay on the path if you want to keep yourself as safe as you can. But even then, sometimes you could get some creatures that are close to the path that might end up being a problem. So here's a quest that's going to give me my very first green quality piece of armor. So I'll get shackled cuffs. These are legs. It's going to give me 4 armor. It's going to give me +1 agility and +2 stamina. So I'm going to get a stat boost. And you can see it says if you replace this item, the following stat changes will occur. I'll get an additional armor, additional agility, and 2 additional stamina. So this is going to be a really good piece of gear to get. And this is up in the upper northwestern corner. You have to kill Lady Sathra. You're going to get some experience, and we're probably going to level here pretty soon to 10. Okay, we need belts from these. You hover over the enemy here, you can see that it shows you that you're going to get, you have a chance to get the blood feather belts. In the lower right corner of my screen, you can see that as I hover over this. So we did level to 10. We got a couple new spells, and our specialization talents opened up, and our adventure guide opened up. So let's take a look at that. So we've got view your combat specializations. Now before we do that, we're going to get to a safe spot. We did get a belt too, so that's good. So we got call pet 2. We're going to be able to have 2 pets now that we can have on us. But we did get the call pet 2. That's what spell came onto my bar here. Let's go ahead and click on the Specialization and Talents tab. So here's where you're going to get to choose between 3 different specializations, and you're going to pick what you want to be. So for hunters, you can either choose Beast Mastery, Marksmanship, or Survival. You can read through each of those and decide what you are most interested in. I already know that I'm most interested in Beast Mastery because I really want to be able to tame rare and very special pets, and I won't be able to do that if I choose any of the other 2. You can always switch back and forth between them. It's pretty easy to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and activate Beast Mastery, and it's a damage spec. All of the specs for hunters are damage, and I'm going to activate it. And if you choose it, like I said, you can always switch and activate the other ones, so you're not locked into just this spec. You can try them all out and see which one you like the best. But for right now, we're going to go ahead now and select the Talents tab, which is this bottom tab here. And now we have 1 point available to put into our talents. If you look at this bottom lower left drop down, you can actually do a starter build. It's a preset talent build that's suitable for most content. That's the easiest way to do it. If you want to read through each of these things and choose, whatever you think sounds good, that's fine too. And the website Icy Veins that I am going to link in the description is also a great resource to help you build your talent tree if you'd like to look into that and kind of be a little bit more careful about what you choose. I'm just going to choose the starter build just to make it simple for now, and it works fine for me. I'm not, like I say, I don't do dungeons and raids really typically, unless I'm playing with family members and friends. I mostly play solo. So for the cozy casual gamer, this might be perfect just to pick the starter build. It's easy, it's already done for you. It says you will permanently lose your current talent build unless you save it as a loadout first, which we don't have any talent builds yet because this is our first time doing that. So yeah, we're going to continue. And it's going to already do it for us, and we're going to get kill shot. So then I'm going to close that out. And you can move your spells now that you've got some new ones to wherever you want. I'm going to put this over here on the F. And then I also got this freezing trap. I like to keep that right up here. I don't use it too often, but once in a while you might want to freeze. If you have a couple things coming at you and you just want to focus on one mob and you want to freeze the other one, you can lay a trap and freeze it. And kill shot is you attempt to finish off a wounded target, dealing 137 physical damage, and it's only usable on enemies with less than 20% health. So I can't use that until the enemy's health is down to less than 20%. And it'll light up when I can use it. So now let's go to our spell book. And now that we're in Beast Mastery mode, we can... Oh, we also have kill command. So it's a good idea to check your spells just to make sure you didn't miss something. And I see that this is highlighted kill command, and I have a pet, and kill command is specifically for giving the command to kill, causing your pet to savagely deal 61 physical damage. And it says you haven't added this to your action bar, so definitely pay attention to that as well. Now we also have access to the adventure guide. So if you look at the bottom right, click on adventure guide, you can see that you have all these different activities that you can work on, and you can get travel points by doing all these different things. Like if I go to quests, if I complete 50 quests, I'll get 100 travel points, and the travel points will fill up across this bar here. If you complete your traveler's activities each month to earn tender and a special reward in your collector's cache, you'll get to go to Stormwind City, which we'll probably get to on a different video, but the trading post is there, and you'll be able to get some rewards. You'll be able to get these trading post, it's a currency that you'll get, and once this bar fills up all the way, we'll actually get this little pet, and you can click on the control and left click that little icon and you'll see what the reward looks like. Sometimes it'll be a mount, sometimes it's a pet. Super cute, it's Buttercup. So if we fill this bar up, we'll get him. And we will also be able to go to the trading post and interact with the treasurer there and get some currency to also go to one of the NPCs that stands over at the trading post, and they sell things each month. Now we're not in the city that has trading post yet, so that's something that we'll probably get to on a different video. And the adventure guide also, not only does it show you your traveler's log currency and progress, but it has tabs underneath, and one of the tabs says suggested content, and it says we can go to a trading post and go to the collector's cache. The tender is ready for collection at the trading post, so we can do that. We can scroll through these little arrows. You can start a quest here for Battleground Blitz. This is joining a raid. We're not high enough level to do that. It won't let you do it if you're not high enough level, but you can click on the different arrows because look, it says requires level 60. So some of this stuff isn't going to really apply to us yet, but it's worth checking it out as you level just to see, what does come available when you're leveling. Now, hunters have the ability to track, so if you click up on this little tracking icon, everyone can track different things in the world. If you're looking for like a mailbox or a banker and there's one close by, you can click on that and it'll show you. I did show this on the first video, but I didn't talk about the hunter tracking. So I'm looking for humanoids. So if I hover over hunter tracking, I can track humanoids by clicking on that and then close that out. And then I should be able to start seeing humanoids on the map. But let's go ahead and turn this quest in since we're right here. And we'll head over, see the map is showing some red dots with a little yellow around them right there. When I hover over those dots, it tells me that those are the blood feather sorceress and the harpies. So that is my hunter tracking. Okay, we got those. So we're gonna go turn that in. So we're gonna complete this quest and get these really good oh, and they actually upgraded. So sometimes when you complete a quest, it'll upgrade. So it turned into rare quality. So this is really exciting. So I'm going to open my bags by clicking on the B, my keyboard, and my new pants are in here and they've upgraded to a 7 armor, 2 agility, 3 stamina. If you hold down the shift while you're hovering over it, it's going to compare what you're wearing and it shows you that I'm going to get 4 more armor, 2 more agility, and 3 more stamina, which is really good. So I'm going to right click those and it's going to switch and put those on me instead. And that's what they look like. Now my outfit is a little mismatched because we haven't done anything with outfits yet, but we're going to take care of that when we get to Darnassus. So that will be exciting. And we'll also sell some things that are in our bags, and we will go to the bank and just kind of clean things up. So if we look at the map, we have a quest that we need to turn in. We're going to have our very first campaign quest. You can see that it has a shield around it with a yellow exclamation mark, and that is a campaign quest. So now we're going to be able to start doing some really exciting main storyline quests now that we're level 10. We could have taken the flight path from Dalinar to Darnassus, but I think since we're so close to Darnassus, we're just going to go down this path, head into Darnassus. So we also have a little notice here. It says click the lore book for the story so far. Now that we have the ability to tame another pet, we can go to the pet utility, we can dismiss our owl, and then we can tame a cat. So let's go ahead and do that since we've got a cat close by so I can show you how that works. And then Once we tame our cat, we're going to be able to click on the call pet, and now we have both pets there. So we don't have to have our pets separately on the action bar. So I'm going to take this call cat out and just going to keep the call pet and just call each pet as I want to use it. And as we level, we'll get more slots here that'll be added. So we'll be able to tame, it'll cap out at 5 pets that you'll be able to have on you at a time in this call pet location. But we can go to a stable and we can stable pets there, and there's a lot of room, so you can collect so many great pets. And it's a lot of fun to be a hunter, and especially a Beastmaster hunter, because you can tame some very rare and special pets.